Objective 4 is distinguishing between discrete and continuous variables. What it means is we just listed quantitative. What was quantitative? It was a numerical measurement where doing math on those numbers made sense, right? But believe it or not, we can actually separate those into discrete and continuous. So I have like a little map down here. Do you see it? I'm going to jump to the map first before I go to the definitions. So right off the bat, we can say, okay, I have like a characteristic like hair color or something like that. That would be qualitative, but we can't do anything more with that. But quantitative, depending on what type of number it is, and I'm going to try my darndest to make it make sense to you, depending on what type, it's going to be classified as either discrete or continuous, okay? So let's go to discrete first. It says it's a quantitative variable that has either a finite or countable number of values. The term countable means you can count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, meaning there's no fractions, there's no decimals, it's not this infinite amount of numbers there, okay? Basically think whole numbers. Okay, let's write that. Whole numbers and countable is kind of what I think. So countable is kind of a way to think in whole numbers. All right, so it's not like your normal number line. And it's one of those things as math students you never really stop to think of. But guys, there's an infinite number of numbers between the number 0 and 1, right? You're like, no, there's not. I'm like, yeah, 0.1, 0.11, 0.1111. You know, we can go over and over again. But if I just say 0, 1, that's discrete, okay? So what are some of these? The number of contacts in your phone. Do you agree, even though you might have many and it almost seems like an infinite number, you can stop and look at your phone and say, I have 133 contacts in my phone, right? The number of pairs of shoes you own. The number of shoes you own. Owned. We'll just make it short. The number of shoes owned. Again, some of us might seem like we have an infinite amount, but we can say I have 22 pairs of shoes in my closet. I can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So if you can count them or just think whole number, there's not a weird fraction or decimal going on, it's considered discrete. It's choppy. Discrete's choppy. All right? Now, continuous, you do have that infinite amount of numbers between 0 and 1 and 1 and 2 and so forth. And so it's not countable. It has to be measured. So if you have some kind of unit like ounces, grams, pounds, seconds, you're measuring it with something, right? And it's kind of weird, but again, do we really have exactly a finite number of time in an hour? Not really, because we can say 60 minutes, what is it? 3,600 seconds, how many milliseconds, and you can just keep going smaller and smaller and smaller, right? So continuous variables have to be measured. Whether you're measuring them with a ruler, with a measuring cup, with a scale, with a speedometer, if you're measuring it, because can somebody drive by and be like, I'm counting their speed limit right now? No, you can't do that, right? So that's a continuous measurement. But can you count how many ear piercings I have? Yes, so that would be discrete, okay? So just think, can I just sit there and look at it? So what are some examples? The temperature outside. Can you look outside and just count, oh, it's 72 degrees right now? No, what do you have to measure it with? A thermometer, okay? Capacity of a pool. Can you look at a pool and say, oh, I think that's 1,400 gallons? No, it's measured. So think continuous, it goes on and on and on. Even though we stop and we round it, right? Like we'll say it's 72 degrees. You're like, Molly, that's a whole number. Why are you telling me it's continuous? Because we stopped and measured, but it's probably not exactly 72 degrees. It's probably 17.1389, you know, however specific our thermometer can get. All right, go ahead and flip it over to the top of page 4. We are going to try it out. Can we distinguish between a discrete or a continuous variable? The number of siblings somebody has, is that countable or measured? Discrete. We can just count. I have 4 siblings. We can count it, right? B, the distance ran by a cross-country runner. It is continuous, right? And I didn't do cross-country, but for some reason I went to them. Like I cheer people on, right? So it's like 3.1 miles or whatever. But is it exactly 3.1 miles? No, you can get down to the inch, the millimeter, whatever it may be, right? It's measured in one shape or the other. So it is a continuous variable. All right, so C is kind of a trick question. The cost to fill up your 2018 Chevy Corvette. Can you see how you can kind of go both ways, right? Because like, well, money is countable, right? How many pennies is that, right? But in order to pay for it, you have to fill it up, right? And you're measuring the gallons that are going into your car. So therefore, it's continuous, right? And you guys ever notice on those gas station signs, like right now it's $2.49 with a little 9, they're not stopping at the penny, right? They're doing the fraction of a penny. And my jokes, like the older I get, you guys stay the same, so my jokes don't work. But has anybody seen the movie Office Space? Anybody? Office Space? Like, it's, I don't know, 90s or something like that. But anyway, this company finds out, these people in this company find out that they're rounding to the nearest cent. So there's all these fractions of a cent just being tossed away. So these handful of guys find out how to send that to a bank account, and the fractions of a cent like add up, and they start making money off of it. It's a comedy. It's a funny movie, but it just lets you know that even though we think money is discrete, it really isn't. We can do fractions of pennies. So this is continuous. I think another one that's kind of tricky, guys, that you may go discrete when it's actually continuous is age, how old you are, right? Can you count my age? No, it's measured by years, but is it really measured just by a year? Right? Months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, right? It's a measurement of time. Now, if I said, how many birthdays have I celebrated? That would be discrete. I can say I celebrated 18 birthdays or whatever it may be, okay? So age is a measurement of time, so that's going to be continuous. All right, so Tom might be coming in here any second, but let's see if we, oh, there he is.